Hello guys, welcome to my video tutorial. Today's video tutorial is on executing Python code, and we would see three different ways of executing a normal Python code. And the first one would be to run a Python code in the Python command line, which comes along with the installation of Python. And what I do is I go to my search and I type Python. I get a option called as Python 3.4 command line. I click on that and I get a window like this. Now this is called as the Python interactive mode. Now I see three greater than symbols here. Now this is my Python interactive mode, and my cursor is blinking, which means that I am actually ready to run a Python program. Now what I do, I run a simple program. I type the print command, a couple of braces, a couple of double quotes, and I type Python command line and I give an enter, and I see my Python command line being executed. Now this is the first way of executing a Python code. I type exit to come out of this one, and the second way is to use the command prompt which comes along with the Windows. Okay, now I type cmd. Now you see the difference here, it goes into the system path. Now initially, if you had listened to my earlier tutorials, we would have during the installation of Python, we would have actually selected an option called as add the path to the environmental variables, which means you can have your code anywhere in the system and you would still be able to run the Python code. Now what we do is we type Python in the command prompt of Windows, and directly goes into the Python interactive mode, the same mode which we had in Python command line. And I do the same thing. I type print, and in double quotes I type Microsoft command prompt, and I get the enter. Now what I do after is I give an exit and a couple of brackets, and it comes out of the interactive mode of Python and comes back to the Windows command prompt. Now if I want to run a script, what I do is I go to a text editor. Now you might not want to use Microsoft Windows, because while saving a Microsoft Windows file, a lot of additional code gets added into it, and that would not help us in executing the Python code. So I would suggest you to select any notepad, any text editor. I'm pretty sure there might be there should be Notepad installed, or if you have Notepad++, that is even more better. So I do the same thing here. I type print and a couple of brackets, a couple of double quotes, and I type first script, and I save this file. Now this is where we would have to be very careful. Now whenever we save a file, I give a file name test_1, and the extension for this file should be .py. Now if we forget to give this one, and this would be saved as a text file. Now the extension for running creating a Python script is .py. Now I save it in my desktop, and I go to my command prompt. I go to my desktop and I type Python. To run the script, I type Python followed by my file name .the extension, and I see the script being run and the output being displayed here. Now if you look into this very closely, you would be seeing that the command prompt has come back to the Windows. It has gone to the Python interactive mode, run the script, and it has come back to the Windows environment. Now this is the second way of running a program, and the third way is to run it through the graphical user interface provided by Python. Now for this I would type IDLE, which is the IDE provided by Python, the graphical user interface which is provided by Python. Now in this course we would be using this command line for all the examples and all the tutorials. We would not be using the command prompt of Windows or the command line which comes along with Python. Now what I do is I go to file, I open a file which we have already created, and the name of the file is test_1.py, which is saved in my desktop, and this opens the script in an editor inside the GUI provided by Python. Now we have the same thing which is being opened inside the GUI provided by Python. Now what I do is I go to run and select run module. Now if you can also use the F5 key as the shortcut. Now I give a run and I see the output being displayed in my Python IDE environment. Now these are the three different ways of executing a Python code. Now in the next video tutorial we'll be seeing on how to create variables and so on. Thanks for watching my video. Hope all is well in your side. Take care. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much. Take care.